there, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Nerdlocker, a place for your inner nerd. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is episode 59.
This week we have some Booster Gold news, some Star Wars news, and some Golden Globe news, so...
Stay tuned. Hey there, Internet. Welcome to Nerdlocker Rapid Fire.
Netflix has announced that they have picked up Arrested Development, and episodes will start premiering next year.
Yes. Finally, white people have stuff to watch on TV again. Development. The best thing on the internet right now, besides Nerdlocker, of course, is Danger 5, brought to you by the creators of Italian Spider-Man.
It's basically if Quentin Tarantino directed Team America in the 70s. You have to watch this. The Galactus of pop culture, Bryan is interested in doing a movie adaptation of the $6 Million Man.
Too bad he's not worth $6 million, but you know who is? J.J. Abrams in the new Star Trek movie, which starts filming January 15th.
I don't have anything funny to say about that. I love J.J. Abrams, and I'm so excited for the sequel.
He can do no wrong.
Speaking of sequels, it looks like Warner Brothers is already planning to do a sequel to the Man of Steel movie, which hasn't come out yet, because that really looked like it worked well for Green Lantern.
You know what they should do? They should just put Batman before everything that's a movie sequel.
Batman, Green Lantern 2.
Yeah.
Batman, the Man of Steel 2. I am on board.
And that was this week's Rapid Fire.
So we've got some pretty big Star Wars news. Dark Horse is starting up a comic which will explain, dun dun dun, the origin of the Jedi.
This is pretty epic.
Oh.
Pretty epic. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And basically, if anybody else was handling this, I might be really against this, but
Yeah.
Dark Horse has done very well by the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the comics they've been doing.
And then they did a great job with basically reinventing Star Wars after Return of the Jedi when they came out with Dark Empire. Obviously, this is a long time ago.
Not in a galaxy far away, though.
And they introduced the clone of the Emperor and how he kept coming back, which was a fantastic storyline. Brought back Boba Fett. Boba Fett did not die in the Sarlacc pit. So I'm very excited that Dark Horse is taking this on, but...
The thing is, if you're going to work on something that's so close to people's hearts, I mean, Jedis, Star Wars is big to everyone. Then you get on a closer level, Jedis are big to everyone. You ask anyone who's a Star Wars fan, do you love Jedis? They're going to be like, is that a question? What are you even talking about? And so they obviously will have their own theories of the origin of the Jedi. Tons of people probably have their own fan fiction, all sorts of stuff like that. And of course, they'll most likely be proven wrong. But depending on how it's written will really change things. It has to be written in just the right way, so that way it doesn't piss off fans and just changes their opinion in a way that they're comfortable with.
And I think that's where we're all nervous, because not only does Dark Horse and the writers have to handle this very carefully, George Lucas, genius in that he invented this world, but he still has the rights to okay every single thing that's Star Wars. And let's just admit it, he screwed up a couple times of late.
A couple times. Yeah, and so one of the things we were talking about is the idea of midichlorians, how it will work into it. Personally, I don't think it's going to have a big play, because if it's the origins, it's not going to be as much about the studies of like how the Jedi powers were discovered. And instead, because they talk about it being a monk civilization, it's very peaceful, meditates, in tune with the Force, which hints at me that they're kind of more like not with technology, not with anything like that. Probably don't even have lightsabers at this point, and so they're just very peaceful.
Brings up a good point. When exactly do the Jedi rise? Because from our knowledge of the Knights of the Old Republic, that's already thousands of years in the past.
Yeah.
How much further are we going back?
Exactly. And so the big thing of this, though, is they're attacked by an evil force, and this is when they rise up to be Jedis, not just monks meditating in a cave. So it's like, it's going to get so awesome. What I'm really hoping is that they'll take it not only with the idea of the Jedis and how they form, but also into how it splits into the Sith and the Jedi. Because, I mean, for the longest time, even with, like you were saying, Knights of the Old Republic, that's crazy long ago, and they're a Jedi and they're a Sith. So I'm hoping at this point you'll see a convergence of these people are thinking they should handle this in this way, these are the people thinking they should handle it this way, and it's a more simple thing that causes such a separation.
I'm going to call it now. The Sith exist, and one of the Sith decide to become a Jedi and go the path of the right. Heard it here first. Go for it, George.
So let us know what you think your theories are, I should say, in the comments below.
So thanks to the guys over at Empire Magazine, we got a whole bunch of new details about the Dark Knight Rises film.
So many new details, my favorite being that the Dark Knight Rises will actually take place 8 years after the Dark Knight. That took every idea plan, thought of a storyline, and he just threw a monkey wrench right into all of it, and now we're back. Nothing's working.
Yep.
I have no idea what to expect. We know nothing about this movie now.
Well, the only thing we do know is that we're going to get an origin for Bane in the first 6 minutes.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot on Bane now. They talked about his mask that he's wearing and how important it is. They're going to show that he gets injured early on and actually needs the mask to breathe in the fear or the gas, the toxin.
It actually makes him immune to pain.
Yeah, which is awesome because they've also said that that whole thing is going to make him a match for Batman physically and psychologically.
That's a big difference between the only other Bane that we have a comparison to.
Bane.
Joel Schumacher.
Just the weird,
Bane.
like 3 foot tall.
Yep.
It was terrible. But I mean, knowing all this, it's like there's nothing that Christopher Nolan can even do wrong.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it turns out he did turn down Jessica Biel when she auditioned to play Catwoman.
All right, I will agree with Bobby on this one. But, you know, Anne Hathaway is a very accomplished actress. I mean, she's been nominated for several awards. She always does a good job. She got nominated for an Academy Award. But Jessica Biel does have a great ass.
And I mean, she did a fantastic job in her role in the movie Havoc. You actually get to see her nude in that film. I don't remember anything else about that movie, but she's naked in that movie. And on the other hand, Jessica Biel has that ass.
Well, you got to figure Christopher Nolan, I mean, he's a really good director. He knows what he wants. He gets the exact role that he wants out of his actors and actresses. So you got to figure there's something there that he sees. But, I mean, that ass. So, I mean, let us know what you would rather see in a cat suit. This?
Or this.
Let us know in the comments below. Good news, everyone. Ricky Gervais is back.
Oh, finally, Ricky Gervais has come back to
The Golden Globes. I like that rock line.
anytime.
Ricky Gervais went on and tweeted and said that all the Hollywood egos need to be very, very afraid because it's going to be biblical. And then he went on to warn Billy Crystal not to steal any of his Holocaust or pedophile jokes for the Oscars.
Can't wait.
I love that he got the green light and just bust through. It's like, hey, you want to host the Golden Globe? Absolutely. You know he has them all prepared.
He's
and
been
written
writing
out.
jokes for a year.
I love it. Like, that's what I want out of a host. And you got to figure with Golden Globes, obviously taking the controversial route of having Ricky Gervais being able to speak his mind again, the Oscars are actually taking a... they're dealing with a lot of drama right now.
They really are, because they finally settled on a safe route. However, they've been going through issues, especially with last year's host of Anne Hathaway and James Franco, which I loved.
Really-
No one else liked it.
I loved
apparently.
it. I thought it was
Awesome.
great.
I think young people liked it, but older people watched these shows and they were like, eh. But they started out with Brett Ratner, and they lost Brett Ratner. And then they had
And
Eddie
Murphy.
Murphy. I was totally stoked for that. Lost
And
Eddie
then he
Murphy the
dropped
next
out.
day, apparently.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to do it.
So they're kind of scrambling, and then Brian Grazer and Billy Crystal step up to the plate, and now everybody's kind of interested in the show again.
I think when you have a veteran like Billy Crystal,
And he's hilarious. He's done it before. What is it,
easily,
like,
a good
don't
couple
quote me on this, like 8 times, maybe? If I'm off, correct me. But it's fun,
Yeah.
and it's almost like you're not watching it just for the awards now. You want to see what they're gonna do.
I can't wait. I want to see him do a dance number or something crazy.
I think that'd be well. You got Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, yes. Hey there, nerds. Jasmine here with my pick of the week, and it is this shirt, and not just because I look great in it, but because it's awesome. Who doesn't love X-Men mashups with beer breweries? That's great. If you don't know, this is a Rogue hazelnut ale mashup with, obviously, Rogue from the X-Men, and it's hilarious and awesome, and I literally squealed when I saw this. Right now, at Ripped Apparel, it is Artist Appreciation Month, and they are coming out with all these really cool designs that you don't usually see, not just Star Wars and Doctor Who. Clearly, this shirt's awesome, and there are a ton more that I've gotten. I love Ripped Apparel, and I love this shirt.
And the nerd Steven here for my pick of the week. It's going to be Louie, which is Louis C.K.'s TV show, which is now on Netflix. At least the first season is. I've actually only watched the first episode because I just found it on there today, and I'm already hooked because I love his stand-up comedy, and it's kind of like an extension of it. It's as if you take a stand-up comedy and then you show where it's come from, but in kind of a twisted way. And so it's really hard to explain, at least for me, but if you're a fan of a stand-up, you have to watch this show. And I'm already, like I said, I'm already hooked, so you should be too. Check it out.
What's going on, guys? Brandon here with my pick this week. It is The Clash. Clash are hands down one of my favorite bands of all time. I've been listening to them all week and just felt like sharing that with you. If you don't listen to them, you're missing out.
Hey
Hey guys, Bobby here with my pick of the week, and it's going to be Ryan Ottley's art book, Violence and Pinwheels. I just picked it up when he was here for a signing out here in Vegas, and I gotta say, this is some of the most gruesome and nasty art I've ever seen. It's a book collecting all of Ryan Ottley's little doodles over the years, and it's fantastic. You guys should pick it up.
All right, nerds, that is going to do it for episode 59 of Nerdlocker. But until next week, be sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube page, as well as checking out nerdlocker.com for all your nerdy news. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Jasmine.
And you guys have a nerdy night.